beat in the group stage, and easier to eliminate in the next round than Switzerland. 13 World Cups. A reputation for discipline, organization, and danger. And yet, since 1954, over 70 years, they have never once reached a quarterfinal. This isn't a story about a bad team. It's a story about a good team that can never quite become a great one, and nobody can fully explain why. Chapter 1. The Golden Era that set the bar. Switzerland's World Cup story actually started with promise. In 1934, their very first appearance, they beat the Netherlands and reached the quarterfinals before falling to Czechoslovakia. In 1938, they did it again, beating Germany in a replay to reach the last 8 before Hungary ended the run. Then came 1954, the year Switzerland hosted the World Cup on home soil. Under coach Karl Rappin, inventor of the legendary defensive system known as the Bolt, they reached the quarterfinals for a third time. What followed was the highest scoring match in World Cup history. Switzerland against Austria. 12 goals. Switzerland led 3-0 at one point, and still lost 7 goals to 5. 3 quarterfinals in 3 tournaments. It looked like the beginning of something. It was actually the peak. Switzerland has not reached a quarterfinal since. Chapter 2. The Long Wilderness. What followed was decline. Bottom of the group finishes in 1962 and 1966. And then, silence. Switzerland failed to qualify for 5 straight World Cups, vanishing from the tournament for 28 years. The Swiss finally returned in 1994, under English coach Roy Hodgson, reaching the round of 16 before being eliminated by Spain. But the pattern that would come to define modern Switzerland was already forming: get close. Not close enough. Chapter 3. The modern curse takes shape. 2006. Switzerland did something no team had ever done: eliminated from the World Cup without conceding a single goal in regular play. They went out to Ukraine on penalties, missing all 3 of their attempts. The first team in World Cup history to fail to score a single kick in a shootout. 2010 brought one of the great shocks of the tournament, beating eventual champions Spain 1-0. And still, Switzerland didn't escape the group. 2014. A Xherdan Shaqiri hat-trick sent them through to the round of 16, where Argentina eliminated them with a goal in the 118th minute, almost the last kick of the match. 2018. Knocked out by Sweden 1-0 in the round of 16. 2022. A 6-1 demolition by Portugal, with a hat-trick from a player who wasn't even supposed to start after Cristiano Ronaldo was benched. 4 round of 16 exits in the last 5 tournaments. Always good enough to be dangerous. Never good enough to break through. Chapter 4. Why? So why does this keep happening to the same nation, generation after generation? Part of the answer is identity. Swiss football has always been built on defensive structure and discipline rather than individual brilliance, effective enough to frustrate anyone in one match, rarely enough to dominate a tournament outright. Part of it may simply be a numbers problem. A small nation, with a small pool of elite talent, repeatedly punching above its weight just by qualifying, let alone advancing deep into a tournament full of footballing superpowers. And yet, the talent is clearly there. At Euro 2020, this same footballing culture eliminated the reigning world champions, France. At Euro 2024, they eliminated defending champions Italy. The Swiss can topple giants, just never at the World Cup, and never on the very next step. Chapter 5. Right now, in real time. Which brings us to right now. At this very World Cup, in 2026, the pattern has already started repeating. Switzerland drew their opener against Qatar, a stoppage-time equalizer denying them a routine win. They responded by demolishing Bosnia and Herzegovina, 4-1, reminding everyone exactly why they're dangerous. Captain Granit Xhaka is playing in his 4th World Cup. He has never been further than the round of 16. Somewhere out there, the same question is waiting for this Swiss generation that has waited for everyone before it. Will this finally be the tournament they turn always good into something great? Maybe that's the real story of Swiss football. Not a curse in the dramatic sense, no missed penalty everyone replays for decades, no single villain, no infamous referee. Just a nation that built a footballing identity so consistent, so disciplined, that it became its own ceiling. 72 years since their last quarterfinal. 13 tournaments. One identity, carried by every generation that's worn the shirt. The Swiss curse was never about bad luck. It's about a team that keeps proving it belongs in the room, and still hasn't found a way to stay in it long enough to be remembered as great.